herding sheep. And sheep in the eyes of an Egyptian back then was an abomination. So he brought him down from that high position he was in and brought him down to nothing. He was just a sheep herder. And now out of those circumstances, God can use Moses. So in verse 27, he says this, "But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty." So what's it saying? Well, remember when Paul came to Mars Hill, he was a very weak person in the eyes of all those smart people. They said he was just a babbler. But things got turned around, and they remember Paul to this very day. So God came on top again. In verse 28, and it's going on with the same thing, that God uses for his glory the base things of the world, which are even despised and ridiculed. So he says, "And base things of the world, and things which are despised, hath God chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are." So how many people just like me read over that and not even get what it says so many times? What does Paul mean when he says that God will use the things that are not to confound the things that they are? Well, it's the same thing that we've been talking. The very things that the world is not even aware of and are nothing as far as this world is concerned. They're nothing in the eyes of a world that's full of success, but they're the very things that God uses to confound the high and the mighty. That's how he does things. And here's the reason in verse 29. And it seems all backwards to what men would think. Why shouldn't God use someone that has all the talents you could think of? Or someone that has a great IQ? Why doesn't he use someone that has all the wealth you could think of? And again, why didn't God use Moses when he was second in command there in Egypt? Well, verse 29 tells us that no flesh should glory in his presence. Now, no human being can ever brag about what he's done in God's sight. God won't have that. He will not use people that seem to has all the right education and all that, but when they've come out and they're successful, what do they say? "I want you to see what I did. Just look what a great person I am, what I did." God didn't have nothing to do with it. Did it all himself. Well, now that's typical. Many people think God didn't have anything to do with it, but he did. So many people that they think they accomplished all this and that and the other, but without God, they never would. Think about this nation. Where would we be? Well, we go here, but where have we been? Where would we have been without the highly